We're drilling down into persistence, hope, why sharing our stories matters, and how personal change seems to ripple outwards.
Yeah, it's compelling stuff. It takes these ideas we sometimes dismiss, like determination, and treats them as, well, concrete strategies. We're exploring how that inner grit, that refusal to quit, isn't just personal, it's actually the fuel for impacting the world around us.
Okay, let's start at the beginning then, the foundation. Determination. The source material is really clear on this. Never give up. Simple phrase. But the interesting part is how they define luck. It kind of stops you in your tracks. And we usually think of luck as, I don't know, random chance, winning the lottery. But these reflections say luck doesn't just happen to us. It comes because we refuse to surrender, even when everything seems lost.
Mm-hmm.
That totally flips the script, doesn't it? Luck becomes something you almost earn.
It does. And what's fascinating is the psychological angle they take. It's like, luck isn't some external gift. It's framed more as a consequence of just sticking with it for a really long time against the odds.
This is like the act of fighting for it actually changes things.
Precisely. The source says that when you declare you're going to fight, even when it seems hopeless, you start seeing things differently. You're not looking for one big miracle solution anymore. You start noticing the small openings, the little shifts.
The micro breakthroughs.
Exactly. Things you would have missed before because you were just staring at the huge wall in front of you.
Okay, but declaring you'll fight creates the conditions. That sounds powerful. But what about people who try really hard and, well, still don't succeed? Isn't there a risk? This just sounds like survivorship bias. We only hear from the ones who made it.
That's a fair point. But the sources seem to focus more on the internal shift, not necessarily the external win, at least initially. The argument is that the determination itself creates the mental breakthrough. It allows you to pivot, to adapt.
Oh, okay.
When they say declaring your will creates the very conditions for breakthrough, it implies the breakthrough might be finding a different path because you refuse to stop looking. The original goal might even become irrelevant. Failure becomes data, basically, and not the end of the story.
Right. It's about keeping your agency, your ability to act.
Mm.
But getting to that point,
Mm-hmm.
that's tough. The source talks about internal barriers, those negative emotions, and especially denial, that first reaction. This can't be happening. This isn't me.
Yes, denial. It's protective for a moment maybe, but then it can just freeze you. It lets fear and doubt creep in, making you feel completely powerless, like a victim of circumstance.
And the source says that feeling can almost destroy your potential right there.
It can. And while those feelings, fear, doubt, despair, are acknowledged as totally natural, the key is not letting them paralyze you. They can't define what's possible. So the transformation needed is quite specific. It's about moving from being defined by what happened to you.
Victim state?
Right. To deciding what you're going to do next. It hinges on that conscious moment of declaration.
I will do what I dream.
Exactly. Saying that and meaning it, it's not just wishing, it's a decision. It's reclaiming control over your own narrative. And that mindset, well, that sets the stage for creating that earned luck we were talking about.
That makes sense. That moment of deciding I will do what I dream feels like the perfect launch into the next big theme here, hope. Because you need the dream, the vision, to even make that declaration, right?
Absolutely. You need something to aim for.
And the sources are, well, almost forceful about holding on to that vision.
Mm.
They argue dreams and hopes aren't selfish little things. They call them essential fuel for the world's magic and possibility, like necessary for everyone.
And the flip side is stark. The cost of losing that fuel. It's huge. The text warns that when hopes and dreams fade, emptiness grows stronger in the world. That's quite a statement.
It really is. It's not just about personal sadness. It sounds like it diminishes the collective potential.
It does. Think about that practically. Holding on to your own hope, your vision, isn't just for you. It's framed almost like a responsibility. If you let your light go out, the world literally gets a bit darker for everyone else. It reduces the overall sense of possibility.
Okay, but why is one person's lost hope so significant strategically? The source connects it to power and control. How does that work?
This is where it gets really analytical about human agency. It states very directly, people without hope are easy to control, and whoever has the control holds the power. Think about it. If you have a strong vision for your future, a long-term goal you're fighting for.
You're less likely to be swayed by short-term things.
Exactly. Threats or quick rewards don't have the same pull. You're playing a longer game. But if you're hopeless, you're kind of trapped in the present moment. You become vulnerable to anything that offers immediate relief or gratification.
Oh, so you might give up your long-term self-determination for a quick fix.
Precisely. You lose the power to shape your own destiny, and you effectively hand that power over to others, systems, institutions, people who promise that immediate comfort or solution.
So holding on to hope isn't about being naive or ignoring problems. It's strategic. It's about resisting psychological dependency
That's exactly how the source frames it. Maintaining hope isn't just a feeling, it's a deliberate choice. It's described as an act of rebellion.
against forces that would diminish our power to shape our own destiny.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It really is. Hope becomes this shield, this weapon that lets you endure hardship and keep working towards something distant. It stops the immediate crisis from controlling your entire life story. That kind of defiant hope is incredibly resilient. Very hard to break. Okay, hope as an act of rebellion. That's a strong image, and it leads us perfectly into our final segment, because once you've got that internal determination,
Yeah.
that defiant hope, the next step seems to be sharing it, taking it outside yourself. Let's talk about the interconnected story.
Hmm.
The sources really emphasize the impact of sharing your own story, your journey from, fear or uncertainty to finding courage. It matters beyond just you. Sharing it honestly, the struggles, the denial, the eventual decision to act, apparently gives others permission to see the magic and possibility in their own lives.
And the way it influences others isn't just simple inspiration, it's described as multiplication. We tend to think our story ends with our outcome, right? Success or failure. But the source suggests every real story is a never-ending story.
Never ending. How so?
Because when you act bravely and share that truth, your story doesn't just conclude, it begins in others.
Ah, like ripples in a pond.
Exactly like that. Your courage inspires person B, who then undertakes their own challenge, maybe inspiring person C. The impact just keeps spreading, far beyond what you could ever achieve alone. That's the mechanism for personal change becoming collective change.
Which highlights why connection and support are so crucial. It's not just about broadcasting your story. The sources state clearly, the most profound transformations happen when we genuinely support another person's journey.
Yes, you have to be part of their story too, not just the hero of your own.
Yeah.
And there's a brilliant way the document frames this. Everyone you meet is simultaneously a character in your story and the protagonist of their own.
Oh, I like that. A character in my story, but the protagonist of theirs.
It forces a different perspective, doesn't it? If you only see them as a character in your life, you might end up just using them for your plotline.
Right, instrumentalizing them.
But if you remember, they're the main character in their own epic struggle, their own journey of determination and hope. Well, that demands respect, genuine support.
And seeing that shared struggle, that everyone's fighting their own battle, makes collaboration the only logical outcome, not competition.
Exactly. You draw strength from knowing you're not alone in the adventure. Our different roles complement each other. The collaboration itself fuels more determination, more hope.
So the ultimate aim isn't just winning on your own, it's shared adventures, as the source calls it.
Yeah.
The richest success comes from pursuing dreams together. Any victory achieved alongside others who also believe in possibility is richer than any victory claimed alone.
It shifts from just personal achievement to something more like collective flourishing.
Okay, so let's bring this together for you, the learner. What we've distilled from these personal reflections today are basically 3 link strategies. First, persistence isn't passive waiting. It actively creates its own luck. Second, hope isn't naive. It's a defiant, strategic rebellion against being controlled. And third, sharing your authentic journey is essential because it multiplies possibility and fuels these shared adventures.
It really underscores how connected we are. The courage you find inside yourself, it genuinely ripples out. It affects what others see as possible for themselves. So maybe reflect on that. Where in your life right now is that declaration, I will do what I dream needed most? And we'll leave you with this final thought taken directly from the source material. Your story is happening right now as you listen. The sources insist it matters deeply. So the real question isn't if your story matters, but whether you will have the courage to live it fully and share it generously with others who are waiting to be inspired by your unique journey.